dirty, horrible, nasty, brush. No, they're lovely, Master. Absolutely fine. Everyone's here, and now he learns his two pincers, yes.
Welcome, miniature fans! Today I thought I would show you my batch painting or clone painting. This is when I have lots of miniatures I have to paint exactly the same, and it can really be strenuous on the old brain box because it's boring. It takes a long time to get these miniatures done the same, and you're doing the same thing on 20-30 miniatures. It's like, oh my god. So I'm going to share my boredom with you today. I'm only kidding. I'm just going to show you a quick way to clone paint your miniatures. What I've done, I've got Garrick the Bold. This is Sir 4 scale for Reaper miniatures. This is the miniature that they always use to give a scale for their miniatures, and I am painting these for my patrons as Christmas gifts. So I am just going to show you how I start the miniatures from start to finish. I've already put the miniatures onto a base boss 1-inch base, and I will get everything set up and I'll go through the process of how these minis are painted. So the first thing we do when we're batch painting is we get our paints ready. I'm going to be using Plate Mail Metal by Army Painter just to get all the metal areas done on these miniatures, and they'll be going on first. These miniatures are the classic Bones plastic. I will not be using a primer coat on the plastic at all. I can paint directly on them. All the miniatures have been washed in warm soapy water, so they are all good to go. Also, as you can see, all the swords have been straightened in hot water because some of them are quite bent, so they've been straightened as well. Now, what we need now is a very good paintbrush. I'm using this Army Painter brush. This is the Wargamer Regiment brush, and it's got quite a big brush. We're not looking for a fine detail brush or anything. We just want a brush to get the paint on, so it's a quick and easy job. I'm starting off with Plate Mail Metal by Army Painter, and I go over all the metal areas on every single miniature, and then I go on to the next colours. Because you're batch painting, what happens is by the time you've got to your last miniature, the first miniature will be dry, so you can go straight on to your next layer of paint, and you just keep on going that way, and you get it all done. The main thing with batch painting is it takes a long time. It does take a long time, and it can be cruel on the old brain box. So I'll quickly show you how I do this. I'm going straight onto the miniature with the plate mail. I'm going around all the parts that we need. The shield. It's very fast and simple. Shield. Shoulder pads. Helmet. Legs, you've got the chain mail there. It's all plate mail. This is quite an easy figure to paint because it has lots of armour, which is very simple to do. Armour is just your plate mail, and then you've got the black ink wash, and then all you do is you highlight with your silver again. So it makes a quick and easy miniature to paint, but looks super cool, and it soon builds up your arms. And when you're batch painting, like I say before, it doesn't matter if you go over anywhere onto the rest of the miniature, because you're actually going to be painting the rest anyway, so if you make any mistakes you will be painting over it as you add more layers to the miniature. Just that one leg, and this bad boy is done for his chainmail. There we go. And already that's all the plate mail on and ready. So what I do now is I move on to the next one, and then the next one, and the next one, and we go to the next stage. Okay, so I've got all my plate mail finished on all the miniatures. Now I'm going straight into some Nunn oil. This is a black oil wash for your miniatures. Now the reason why I'm putting the oil on now is because I can make a mess. All I'm going to do is go straight over the whole mini with the black ink wash. If it starts pooling, just take it off with your brush and move it to another part of the miniature. Simple as that. There we are. And I'm doing this to all the miniatures, and because I haven't painted the rest of the miniature, as you can see some of the ink wash has gone onto the white area, but I'm going to be painting that blue, so it doesn't matter. And all the black ink wash is bringing out all the details. Superb. Simple as that. And I do that to each one of these now. And then we go and we wait for that to dry, and then we go and add the blue. So I will come back once I've got these all dried and the ink wash added. Okay, the ink wash is dried. I'm going to be using Tropical Blue by MSP, and I'm just going to go over all the cloak areas, or the cloth areas should I say. Again, super fast and easy. I'm still using the same size brush just to go into all the little places. And back. Going straight up to the helmet. Follow the cloak down. We're done. Simple as that. So we're going to do this to all the miniatures. Once that's dry, I'll come back and show you the next part. Okay, so I am moving down in brushes. I am going down to a character brush by Army Painter now. And this is a smaller version of the last brush we used, and it's for the belts. Now for the belt I'm using Golden Brown by MSP, and it's very simple, just going straight across the belt area. So that's the belt done, and there's two little straps on the back of the shield. See them just there? What we're going to do is we're going to just cover them in the brown as well. Yeah, all done. And that's all we need to do for that. So I will go and get all the brown areas done now, and then we'll come back. Okay, all our belts are done. Now I'm moving on to the last real colour, and this is Gold by Army Painter. And this time I'm actually going down again in one of my brushes. This is the Wargamer Detail brush, and this will be for picking out all the gold parts on the miniature. So we're going to start off with the shield. And we are going down the cape. Both sides. When you're doing fine lines, you have to try and control your breathing. This is why I'm not talking much while I'm painting here. What you do is same as when you have an air rifle, or you're in the army when you go to shoot a rifle, is when you take that shot excuse me, when you take that shot, you hold your breath and then pull the trigger. Just it steadies your hand. So what we do is, if you've got a very delicate part of the miniature you want to paint, just as you're going to put that paint on, just hold your breath. It actually steadies your hand. If you do make any mistakes, you can always go over with paint anyway. So we're just going over all the areas that we want gold, which is the hilt of the sword, and along the bottom of his cape. We're just going along the line. And there's a little piece around his face, and the eyepiece of the face. So we're just going to quickly across there, starting at the bottom, working around the top, and just going around the eye plate of the helmet. And we're done. Beautiful. So I'm going to do that to all the miniatures now. And then I'll come back. Okay, I'm going on to the last part of my miniature, and that is, I'm going to just highlight this, the armour a little bit with some shining silver. So all we're doing is I've got the same brush. This is a detail brush by Army Painter, and I'm just going over certain areas just to highlight, like a little touch here, here, here. Just where the light would kind of reflect off certain areas of the miniature. And along here, top of the knee pads, and top of the shoes. like so. And also on the sword, I want one side of the sword to be silver. This will give a nice two-tone to the sword, like so. See that shine there? You can see a lovely silver going up and then dark on the other side. So you got a nice little light reflection coming off the sword. That's about it. And I'll just want to sneak up here. And the same with the back, a little bit on the shoulder pads just here. Top of the shoulder pads here. And again, a little line on the helmet. And with the sword, on the reverse side of the sword, we do that reflection on the opposite side of the sword. So going down the other side, same again as the front, but on the reverse side this time. See? There we are. Lovely. And that is all I'm going to do to these miniatures. All I need now is to add some flock into the base. I'll give it a little dry brush and I'll come back and show you all the miniatures. But this is a super fast and easy way to get all your miniatures batch painted at one time, and they are perfectly acceptable on the tabletop. Well, here we are with the finished miniatures. They came out fantastic. All in all, it took just over 4 hours to paint all these miniatures from start to finish, and I'm very happy with that. They are definitely to a tabletop standard and would look great in anybody's game. I've added a little bit of flock into each base, and I've just painted a little bit of dragon black around each rim just to make them a little bit look more tidy. So there we are. This is how I do my miniatures when I'm doing batch painting, or you call it clone painting, or even speed painting. So there we are. If you enjoyed the video, then please subscribe to the channel. If you want to support the channel, then please become a patron. All patrons are added to the end credits of all my videos. So until next time.
Goodbye, my fellow ones. Sleep well. Dream of evil paintbrushes.